I always knew that there was something different about me, but in my community where I grew up, it was a really Catholic neighborhood, and there was nobody who even had words for the difference that I felt.
I was in 10th grade when I figured out that I was gay. One evening, I ended up with a friend of mine, a very good friend of mine who I love very much. At the top of my driveway one night, we kissed. And it was this wonderful moment for me. It really spoke to a part of me I had never felt before, and it felt really good and it felt really comfortable.
I really knew I was gay when I was about 15, but I was always a tomboy before that. And then I came out to myself when I was 15, and then I was really kind of quiet about it and just kept it to myself mostly for a couple years, which was, sort of a scary, lonely time. But then I came out to my friends and family when I was about ready to leave home when I was 17, and since then I've been out.
I knew I was gay when I was in 6th grade. I denied it, and I tried really hard not to be gay. I remember being bullied and teased and told I couldn't do things, and I was made fun of, and I was hurt.
I knew I was gay in high school, but nobody ever talked about what gay meant. Nobody ever told me their stories. I had no idea why I was feeling different.
I actually came out to myself when I was my freshman year in college. I was 18, but I knew earlier than that. High school, junior high, struggled with knowing I felt different.
I came out in college my junior year, and that was really difficult because I had a lot of competing feelings and ideas of who I wanted to be, which is natural when you're an adolescent. The moment I said, I think I'm gay, it was just a huge weight lifted off of my shoulders. And for the first time, I felt like I could breathe.
I guess I knew that I was gay very young, but I didn't come out till much later, like well after high school. It just wasn't possible. It wasn't safe at all. I had no role models for that, and I had no language for it.
Yeah, I came out as trans it was like 1997, 98 that I started, people would call me he and boy and things like that. And then about 8 years ago is when I first started to transition. I didn't get a lot of support from my family. It wasn't, I didn't come from a family that supported me for many, many years. And so, but I always had friends, like a little pack of friends that I always had around, like chosen family. And to this day, I still have a chosen family, and that's always what holds me.
We want to send a message to all the young gay, lesbian, transgendered, and bisexual youth out there. What do you think we should tell them?
If you're in a place where you don't feel that you have choices, just know that there are people out in the world that are living, an out life as LGBT people, and that if you choose to want to have a family someday, you could do that. If you choose not to, you could choose not to as well. But it's really important to find people that accept you, as you are.
We should be allies because if people didn't have allies, people wouldn't be treated fairly and they wouldn't be treated equally. And that's why you should always have an ally.
Be true to your feelings and what you're feeling, and that might change from one moment to the next for some people, or you might know when you are very young, but just listen to your feelings.
Find allies, queer, straight, old, young. There are people out there that love you and will take care of you.
The world is changing really, really quickly. You can have an amazing life. You can have a family if you want to have a family. And you can have a wife if you want a wife. Or a husband, thank you, if you want a husband.
There's a lot of room in this world for you and a lot of community. And my advice would be to seek that out. Go find your LGBT centers and your counselors and your teachers at your school who see who you are and who respect you and love you.
When you're gay, you feel really different. And feeling different is not easy, and people will pick you apart for any difference that you have, especially when you're in high school.
Yes, as you get older, it'll be easier to be gay, but it'll also get easier to just know yourself. And, I think that that's a process. So wherever you are as a kid or as a teenager, I think you're going to change throughout your life, and that's going to go on. I'm 35. I know I'm going to keep changing my whole life, but my advice would just be to be as true to yourself as you can and be open to change.
Go at your own pace. No one can tell you who you are or what you are or what you can be, and that's a process of self-discovery that you have to uncover on your own timeline.
That things change all the time and quite rapidly. Just in my life, I'm 47, and I have seen so much expansion and so much growth and so much opportunity and so much visibility that never existed when I was a youth, when I was a young person. And I can only imagine that that is going to keep changing and keep happening and keep evolving.
You need to find a safe friend and make sure that you feel safe before you tell somebody. And as you get older, life really does get a lot easier. Middle school is the hardest. High school is also very difficult. But as you get older and you find a safe friend or friends or community, you're going to feel so much better.
Don't stop searching for that supportive community. I've moved around to 5 different states to find a supportive community, and I found it. So never give up looking. They're out there. You will find it. And share your story. Be amazed how many people connect with just your story alone.
I've been thinking about this as what would I tell my 16, 17, 18-year-old self? And the first thing I would say is build your village. Find allies. You are valuable. You are and it's okay to be gay. You will find happiness. You find people you love. You can have a good job. You can have a family. You can have friends. You can have a child. But you can only do it if you stay here. If you show up and make it happen for yourself, you have to do it for yourself.
Believe in what you feel. Don't question it. Believe it. Other people may have their opinions. Other people may want you to lead your life a different way. But if you feel a certain way, really believe in what you're feeling. Pay attention to it. You have a right to who you are.
Like if you feel, lonely or alone, that you'll meet people. You might not have them in your life right now, but later you will, and you'll make those friends and those connections.
Usually somebody somewhere you can find to connect with, and that just having one person who, you can share your truth with really can make a difference, and that to try to find that person because they're out there, and that it definitely gets better. You make friends, and having a community that you just can be yourself in is a wonderful thing, and that's going to happen.
Remember to surround yourself with those who truly love you. To always go to that and not isolate yourself. I can say that it gets better because I'm sitting in it. I'm sitting in better. It gets better.
It gets better.
It gets better.
It gets better.
It gets better.
It gets better.